So yeah, queer joy
Yes.
is not just TV. It can also be things like getting free shots, as we talked about, but also free tickets.
Just free things in general. We
Yeah.
love free things, so please send them to us.
So we have some free tickets for you, the watcher or the listener.
So as a queer person, we are constantly looking for what's the next best thing. What's who we can include, how can we top?
Yeah.
Pun intended. So pili here, what's it? The salisalo. It means if you make soup fast, it's gonna be salty.
Ah,
So
take your time.
take your time. Say, we don't want salty soup.
No.
We don't want salty.
Okay, I love this quote. We don't want salty soup. So yeah, life lessons again.
Take your shirt off. Welcome to our third episode. The main characters is all about queer joy, self-love, and iconic guests.
Yeah, you know what? It's fun. It's needed. Let's get into it. So, Tony,
Yes.
how have you been?
Let's just say I'm good. I'll start with this. I'm good, but I'm a gamer, as they say, and I just bought my own gaming PC, and I thought it was smart to select all the compartments and build it myself. And when I started doing it, I felt like a boomer. It's just like horrible. But I managed to do it. It doesn't work fully, but it was a little bit stressful the last few days.
What are you going to play?
My main game I play is Marvel Rivals, because I'm into X-Men and stuff like that. So you get to play around like Storm or,
Yeah, is that
Wanda.
is that your main character?
It's Wanda, though. Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, you know how I feel about Scarlet Witch,
No?
the TV series.
Oh.
All the gays
It's
hate
so
me when I say
iconic.
it.
Anyway, so that's one thing. But yeah, other than that, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good as well.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, we always talk about going to concerts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are like an avid concert goer.
Yeah, my last one was Dua Lipa 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I love
which
her.
was iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some pictures.
Yeah.
Insert here. But this time I went to a concert,
Yeah.
which almost never happens. And I was invited by the daughter of my best friend.
Okay.
She's 18 years old. I've known this girl even before she was born. Like, she was in the womb.
Yeah.
And her mother told me that she was pregnant. And now suddenly she calls me up out of the blue, says, hey, can I stay the night at your place? Because I want to go to a concert.
I live.
Yeah. And first she wanted to take a friend, but there were some issues with trains. And then she said, hey, I have a ticket left. Do you want to go with me? Yeah. And then we went to Tolhuistuin, Paradiso Noord.
Yeah.
And she took me to a concert of a 19-year-old, super skinny, like pale American guy.
Yeah.
19 years old. He had like black hair and like a little suit on. And he was famous because of TikTok.
Obviously.
Yeah, he had a hit and he was called Somber. And I thought, oh my God, Somber. And like, it's going to be a little bit sad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, This whole concert hall was filled with girls.
Yeah.
Like they were all 180 or higher, thin, long hair, like the kids from the Kelly family.
Yeah.
A deep reference if you're my age. And they were all like into it. And then two things happened that I thought was funny. At one point, a girl throws a bra to this guy. Like it was like a leopard print bra.
Iconic.
Yeah, so cute. And the other one was at one point, he had to stop the concert. Oh. Yeah, they were like, he was like, yeah, security, can you help this girl? And there was this girl, she was like drenched in sweat, white t-shirt on, was all too tight. Her hair was like hanging next to her, like also sweaty. And she was about to faint, And then three people had to carry her out.
I had
But
the same
it's
at the
so
Billie
funny.
Eilish concert. She didn't have to stop, but yeah, it also happened.
But yeah, so that was
Yeah.
an experience for me, And shout out to LFA because that's her name. She also helped us with the podcast. She had to do something for her school, like an internship for a day. And then she came up with guests, with ideas, and she's fabulous. And she's also part of the community, so shout out to you. And thank you for the concert.
We love the future of our community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Hey,
Yeah.
Do you have something else that you want to mention?
Yeah, I was scrolling on TikTok yesterday, and I'm a big fan of Sabrina Carpenter, and she just released a new song and also announced a new album, and she just posted the album cover, and whole internet is in uproar about it. So I thought, let's talk about it. Insert picture here. As you know, Sabrina is very openly sexual and talks about the positivity as a woman and being sexual. And on the image, she is basically on all fours like a dog, and a man is like holding her hair, or at least what we think is a man. And now, out of all generations, Gen Z is being very prude and very like, it's anti-feminist and blah, blah, blah. So I thought it was fun to mention because, girl.
Yeah. And we are both gangsters, so like something like that, we just only
Puppy
can.
play.
Yeah, it's hot.
And also, feminism is about the woman being able to choose what she wants, and if she wants to do fucking puppy play, that's up to her.
Yeah, and if it's empowering to her, who are we to say something about
Exactly.
it, right? Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
it.
Then I think we're ready.
Yeah.
Shall we meet our guest?
Let's do it.
Fun. Our main character today is a famous face from Amsterdam nightlife who is at a turning point in his life. 12 years ago, he moved from Aruba to the Netherlands at age 19 to study fashion at the Amsterdam Fashion Institute. And he also does drag, I think with the Caribbean Divas, is that correct? Yeah. And he also walks the best dressed category in ballroom as part of the House of Vineyard. You know him from Café Soho in the Regulus Dwarsstraat, where he serves two things in abundance: positive energy and shots. Our main character today is Alexander Leslie.
So, Alexander, welcome, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Like a dash of stress, not but good kind of stress. When you're excited for something and
you're gonna get married next week.
Yeah. I'm getting married.
And you're going to get married at a very special occasion and a very special place. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. So Amsterdam is celebrating 750 years of existence. This old bitch called Amsterdam.
Yeah. Old lady.
And as part of the celebration, they're doing the big festival on the highway. And our 400 couples, me and my beautiful partner, got chosen to get married on the highway. So,
so there were like 400 couples who wanted to, and 20 got selected,
and
right?
20 got selected randomly. So it's the fate. The gods wanted us.
And is it because it's the ring that they did the wedding thing?
I think it was just part of it. I think it's like a good wordplay, but I think why not? If they're gonna have like a marathon, they're gonna have music, they're gonna have so much.
Basically anything. Yeah, to celebrate.
Anything, yeah. And what better way than love?
I mean, if you're gonna do it, might as well do it like that.
Exactly.
And you're the only queer couple of that's there, right?
I was thinking we're the only queer couple, and I think the way we're gonna do it is also very unique. Yes. So
love that.
The great thing about our podcast is sometimes that things happen after we before we release it. So we will see here some pictures of your wedding here. Yeah. And can you tease us with one thing that's going to happen during your wedding?
Where do we start?
Something small.
Get ready for color, for loudness, and just black culture.
Love
Black Caribbean culture.
I love it.
And I heard you also brought your family, right? Or at least your grandmother is going to be...
my partner's grandmother, which is my grandmother, and my brother is here. He has never been in Netherlands, so he's here for a few months, and I get to share this with him. So I'm very, very happy.
Wow.
About that.
Super exciting.
Amazing.
Super exciting.
And you brought some guests as well today for our prenup gallery.
They're...
Can you introduce them to
Of course. We have the person I get to call my husband in a week, and this person that I love so much. I have Bruno, and I have my dear friend who's also like my brother, Eva, here with me for moral support and to get the party started.
And your husband to be, he's looking at you with a lot of love in his eyes.
Yeah,
it's very sweet.
I trained him well.
Yeah, you train them well.
As you should.
And we have another guest also on the sofa on the pinup gallery.
So we have Sebas here.
Is one of the most beautiful people in my life.
Yes.
That's Sebastian Doorman. So welcome, thank you so much. And he also got us a couple of drinks today, which was unexpected, very sweet.
It
So
feels so odd to have somebody bartend for you. It's
Yeah,
like a
nice,
doctor
right?
going to an
Yeah.
appointment.
And she professional.
But amazing.
So before we start, for our pinup gallery, we of course have the bell of shame. Maybe show it off.
Yes.
Which, as we explained in previous episodes, the pinup gallery can use if they want to interject in the conversation that we're having, and maybe you're saying something that isn't quite true, or they want to add to it, or
Too much now.
not too much.
Isn't that called content moderation or something like that? Yeah, we still have it. Take note, meta.
So they might show up later in the episode.
Yeah.
Alex, you moved from Oranjestad in Aruba to Amsterdam when you were 19. Why did you take that step?
I already felt like I needed more. A small island has its limitations. I was very interested. I applied for fashion, and the second option was anthropology. Got accepted to fashion. Got accepted to fashion, and yeah, that was the main focus. Also the study, but also to be like, I wanna broaden my
Something
horizon.
new,
I want something
something
new.
more.
I wanna fly. Yeah, so I took a gap year to just have fun, and you can ask Eva. We partied, and it was a really good vibe for the island. I think back then that whole process was also fun. In my mind, it was like we're going, and then till you really move, and then you really be like, oh.
Yeah. How was it to grow up in Aruba, and especially as a gay person?
I think I'm on the luckier side. It shouldn't be luck. It should be for everyone that way. But I have very loving parents that just gave me such a creative space. I mean, I'm the youngest of 3 brothers. So I have 2 older brothers, and we would rough play outside playing football, and I would come inside and play with my Barbies. And my mom also makes carnival headpieces. So all her scraps she would save for me, and I would make the outfits, and I would... and it was always encouraged, whatever I wanted to do.
Super supportive.
Yeah. Ballet, karate, anything you want to do, let's go. You know, my dad especially, he would always drop me off, be there, be at all the performances. Amazing. Yeah.
And how was that then outside of your family?
That's when when you're in the safer bubble, when you're like at the ballet school, or when you're in that moment, nobody's judging you. But as a kid, from very a young age, I started noticing like, hey, people do treat me differently. People do outside the bubble kind of shame me in something that I was very proud of. So slowly you start like going a little bit more in your shell. Instead of like dancing outside, you're gonna be, let me just save it for the school.
But what was the thing that they were shaming you for then? Like how you were walking around, or the things that you did? What was the thing that?
It's the femininity. I was always, and still to this day, I embrace femininity. I love the duality of masculine and femininity, and I move in between the spectrum. So as a kid, you're so innocent. You're not thinking about the presets of the world.
You're just being yourself.
You see a beautiful dress, you see a beautiful thing. Okay, I want to embody that.
Yeah, and especially when you're raised in a family where everybody's like, like they're supporting you. Yeah. Then that must be like kind of difficult when you then see that not everybody's like that, right? Yeah. So you were in this little bubble with your family. Yeah. You decided to go to Amsterdam. Yeah. And then you moved. And how did you start here? What did that look like?
It looked like living in a shipping container, which was amazing because you hear all these horror stories like you have to share bathrooms and stuff. But also our house was very lively. Always music on, people coming in, out. There was a lot of people. It was just movement, Yeah. And to be alone, I had to just grasp that idea, and to not have your support system, the physical support system.
Did you feel lonely then at times sometimes when you were there?
Yeah, of course. I think at the beginning it was mostly I didn't catch up with the feeling yet, because you're getting used to the whole culture, you're getting used to the school, you're getting used to how you interact with people, everything, like even something as simple as grabbing the tram or train, or I remember the first few times that I would see like go on the highway. Yeah. It's a gag because you see all these big buildings, you see it's a lot. So it was no time to process because you go. Later on in life, I'll be like, hey, no, some things, the way I moved, I recognize it as I was lonely or I was afraid or was trying to, fill a void.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you said you were living in a container. That might lead to some confusion. What was the container that you were living in?
So they had these student housing, and they would make these shipping containers into great student housing, and it was placed next to jail.
Yes, the Belmo
the Belmo
bias.
bias.
Yeah. I've been into one of those. Yeah. I used to work at Bar, like near the Soho where you work. And I had a date with a beautiful German dancer who lived there, and I was actually surprised by how cute it looked. You know, it had like a shower, and it was kind of private.
You basically have everything you need.
You have everything you need. It's close to everything. It's nice to have like the studenty feel. You know, it was a very nice experience. Yeah.
And you studied fashion design, right?
Yeah. So I got accepted to Amphi, and that's the Amsterdam Fashion Institute, and I studied fashion and branding. Yeah, that was an experience also by itself. That was coming in. You're coming into a vibe of international students, which most of them pay 6 times what you would be paying to just attend the school. And it was an experience that I still to this day take as a lesson of trying to always stick to your gut and your feeling. But I guess also in that situation, I was very new. So I was like, okay, this is what you have to do. This is what you, this is just what everybody experiences.
What was that experience then?
It wasn't the most pleasant one. I felt a lot of times I would get compared to, because coming in from Aruba, we have a lot of American influence, pop culture, but also you would get graded based on someone else who their parents can afford 7,000 euros a year and an apartment on the Amstel. You know, they will come in with a product that is quality-wise way more, and it will be judged on the quality.
Budgets and not necessarily more creative.
And meanwhile, if you're a fashion student, you know, everybody knows you're on a budget. And I think a lot of times I would also be dimmed. Like I came in with my full-on culture, carnival.
Colorful.
We have colorful, and I would also be like, it's too much. I was always told too much, to the point that I even lost myself. I lost myself, and you would see other people who would have the most basic ass shit, and then they grab one little dash of your culture, and then they're the gag, and that's what really broke me after a while.
So you came in like, rah!
Yeah, like, wish I got this, and they're like, ooh, wow,
no, I ain't got this.
And they're like, not too much.
But really, I will really, like, in front of the class, they will really call me out like, oh, is this really for you? Is this really for you? And
they were like calling you out.
Yeah, it was really. But in that time, I just like, you know, we didn't have a Black Lives Matter movement that would be as vocal. So you think like, oh, it's just my experience. You come also from a culture where it's being pushed. Like if you feel that push through, it's not talking about it. Is, you know,
just do it and
just go. You head down, hustle, and you think you normalize it. So that's what I did. Looking back at it, and then even later on in life, talking to other colleagues, they were like, oh, that's why we left. And I powered through to the second year, and then I was like, oh, I didn't see myself as an artist, and I was like,
I mean,
okay.
it stifles your creativity.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and it's also a pity because you can imagine how many students or how many creative minds got dimmed that way. They'll be like, oh, this is not for me. By
even though they could have had a great career. You know?
Exactly.
And I mean, look at your outfit today.
I mean,
on point. Yes. Thank you so much. Serving the looks. Yeah. Who are you wearing? Great question. Thank you.
I didn't make it myself, but I did buy it myself. So
there you go. So it's yours.
And we talked about it before as well. It's kind of print heavy this episode, right? I'm fine with it.
Pattern on pattern.
Don't adjust your TV sets. It's part of it.
So bad teachers, not the most nice experience, but still, you stayed in Amsterdam and you went your own way. What did you do?
I decided, I was like, okay, branding is still something that you can apply in many things because the study you have fashion and design, branding and management. And I was like, I very much love branding. Why not go in a setting where it's more corporate, more like a communication study, and be the most fashionable bitch there. And be, you know, so I did then international communication and management. And then I would constantly, when it comes to stuff about like copywriting or creative stuff, I would be literally asking for more. Like the people hated me in the class. Then I would constantly be asking for, can I get a more challenging thing?
Because, like, let's go.
Yeah, because you're so, especially in the fashion world is so cutthroat, and I was like, oh, let me excel. I knew coming in already what I want, and I pushed through with that, and
And you finished it.
yeah.
Good for you. Yeah. And then you also started working.
And then after that, I started the PR world. When PR, I had a very short experience in PR.
PR, darling.
Yeah. It's I started in the world of horeca and noticed that the biggest thing is that I didn't match with the energy. So as a queer person, we are constantly looking for what's the next best thing, who we can include, how can we top, pun intended, how can we top the thing we already did. And I noticed in the industry where I was working, it was very like, oh, we did this last year. Can you make it this year again, but in blue?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and I was my creative urge was just like, I want to make it like fur,
Let's
not
do
blue.
something.
Yeah, I wanna make it fur.
I want to be the pioneer, and I want to push through. And I think it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I started just during my study, again, fashion. So you had to really like get some money. So I started working at Soho just as a runner. And I always stayed, even when I did the PR, even when I would wear my nice suits and go to the meetings, in the night, I would still pass by Soho. And I would take rounds so the colleagues can go pee. And I would just, and I'm like, oh, I love this. And the owners were like, oh, do you want to come back and just like run it and have it your vision? And I saw also from my community, like the need to open doors and to create not only spaces but opportunities for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something about like Soho, that like when you started being in charge, what changed there? Did you so good question. What is Soho is a café in de regel is dat?
Gay bar.
What changed? Did you notice that there was a different audience coming, for example, or did you play different music? What were the little changes that you
I think for me, Soho means a lot. It begins, we just celebrated 25 years of existence. For a lot of people, it's the first introduction into the gay nightlife. It's so nice to see sometimes people come in like with their son or like with a friend, be like, oh, this is where I had my first kiss, and this is where I've and me behind the bar, I also feel like this is where I bloomed. Like I was the cocoon, and I because you're on a little stage every night, and so it's definitely holds a great place in my heart. I think my main thing coming in was, okay, let's reflect in Soho what we do, what the reality is, like, because there are people of color coming in, there are trans people coming in, so why should that not be reflected in the staff and in the music? So it wasn't per se that I came in like, oh, I want to change it, but it's like I want to reflect reality. That was the main, until to this day, this is the thriving force, let's evolve with the times, let's see what's happening, and we cannot be stuck and be like, oh, we've always done this, 1 + 1 is 2. No, now we know better, so we should move accordingly.
Yes.
I love that.
And I think what is also beautiful about you, you know people. You've been working there for a long time. You know faces, and you're like always friendly. You always have a smile. You're always like kind of cheeky. You give people some drinks. You have a nice little chat, and
It's
you just
amazing energy.
you make people feel welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that a lot of times people ask, like, oh, don't you have? Of course, I have some off days, but it's something I've always said from very young. I knew my purpose was to be at service of people. There's nothing more that I enjoy. If I have to run and do everything, but I get to just stand back and see people having fun and knowing that, behind the scenes, me and my team, because it's never alone, but me and my team, we put thought into something. You do your research, you do you brainstorm, you make like, even this podcast, the way you guys do it, you put so much love into something and you see people enjoying it. That just like it gives me like
I can relate to that.
Life. It gives
I
me
can
life.
relate to that very well because I also like organize events and stuff, and I am the same. I'd rather be like behind the scenes, doing the work, running around, making sure everything is good, and then if everybody's having a good time, I'm good. That's all I need.
And you also at a certain point you start becoming like the mascot. You know, people will recognize you. And I remember even once, it was so funny, but in that moment, I didn't find it funny. We were in a sauna. We were in a dark room in I think it was Brussels or something. And I was in a sling, and somebody's like, "Soho, I'm so." And in the moment, I was like, "Okay, whatever." But it's like it's an honor because it carries a lot of weight representing Soho and being part of it. It's not just me. It's a big team. Everybody who, like, from the toilet lady to the security to everybody really does it with a lot of love.
Like, you are creating a space for a safe space for a lot of queer people. But what would you do if there's like you notice that straight people are starting to take over, because that has happened before in bars?
It's a good sign. It's like, for me, it's a good sign that we've created such a great space for us that people that aren't even the target group, that they feel so welcome they would come. Of course, you have the domino effect that you have a queer safe space, straight women feel comfortable, they come in, this attracts straight men, and then at a certain point, you can't even recognize your own space you created, you know? That is something that I think everybody struggles with. Anything that, as soon as something becomes queer underground and it moves to mainstream, which Soho in the end of the day is more mainstream, it's inevitable. I think we see it all around us with spaces or with brands or whatever, artists that we gatekeep, and then a certain while it just is inevitable. I think the best way that I try to approach it with the projects that I'm busy with is we will use that opportunity to expose people who are not used to. Even if you have a drag show, they'll ask us, whose drag show is it the first time? At the door already, we're talking about consent. We're talking about, do you respect the space?
Sorry, I want to make a joke. And then they leave already.
They're like, what's that? Consent. And it's I wouldn't want to, of course, you want to gatekeep and you make sure that, the crowd that stays safe for the crowd it's meant to. But I also feel like this is a great learning moment, and this is a great way to take people in and humanize us, unfortunately, because some people still think like, gay, and then it shows people like, hey, it's a drag show. Oh, no, nobody touched me. Oh, you can imagine how many times I've had it. Straight father of 4, they'll be like, oh, I came here by accident, and now they come every weekend. It's like my idea of I thought I was gonna be touching it, and is definitely not that. Like, it's completely not that. You're embraced, you are respected, and we have a lot of trainings and teach the staff to, if somebody does feel uncomfortable and they come to you, that the staff knows, and we try throughout the night also to make sure that people know that respect is number one.
Good.
Yeah.
I had like one thing like that happened to me once. Next to Soho, there used to be like the ski, you call it the ski hut, right? It's the exit bar next door. And I remember one night I went out there, was like it was a school night. I had to work, but it was a school night, and I got massively drunk. And I thought, yeah, let's go out. And then usually people end up there, at least in the past. Yeah. And then at one point I was dancing there with some friends, and I took off my shirt and I was like screaming and like drunk. And then this girl approaches me and she says, why are you taking your shirt off? Like a straight girl that was with a group of friends. Yeah. And I was like, well, it's what we do. Yeah. I don't know if you know what you are, but this is where we go out and we take off our shirts, Yeah. And she had to like digest that. And and then I was just a little bit like annoyed by it. And I also told her, like if you go somewhere, make sure that you also understand the rules, and I'm okay if you ask me, but you also had like her tone was very pointed, Anyway,
but a good trick is to turn it around. Like someone's like, "Oh, why is your shirt up? Why is your shirt not
why is your shirt not up?"
Like make them look like the crazy one. Make them look like the crazy one, because they are. Like, even if you are there butt naked, you're having fun. For me, that's important. I think that's the main rule. Like, have respect for each other. If you're not hurting anyone, you're not bothering anyone, go have fun. You want to do, why are people so bothered with
what other people
are doing?
Yeah.
So life lessons again.
Take your shirt off.
We're gonna come back and talk about like how you make people feel and how you want to make people be in a better place. Because yes, you do all the things that you do, but you're also starting something new, and you will find out after the break.
We'll be right back.
That's so gross. That's so gross.
Yes, turn around. Next. From the back.
And we're back. So, Alex, working for Soho, I guess, as a bartender, but also as a manager, oftentimes you have people coming to you with their problems or asking for advice, I think. Yeah.
Sure.
And I think you are going to do something with that.
Yeah, so I think 2 years ago or a year ago, 2 years ago, I had a burnout, and it was a moment of reflection also for me. What do I enjoy? Like what I in that moment? What do I? Who am I? And
Who is she?
I don't know. Really, tell me. And in that moment, I was like, okay, let me look at what I do, and I love working in the nightlife, and I like. But one of the things that I love the most is that people come to you, like you said, and to be able to give people not even advice, but they have. Most of the times, we know the answer. It's all up here, but you have also. If you have 10 questions and 10 answers and they're all
happening at the
same time, it makes it very difficult.
Yeah.
So having the skill already, having the people skill and having the genuine passion to help people, I figured out that coaching is the next step. It's not even my next calling because it's the next step. I always said, working in nightlife, you get to facilitate and do all the fun so people feel good and people have fun. And I think the next chapter is going on a deeper level and facilitating and helping people to feel good about themselves. When they're not in the club, when they're not in the bar, when they're not in a setting where alcohol is being thrown around freely by me.
Just in daily life.
Yeah.
But what do you do then? Are you doing a study, or how does that work?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna do something else.
Yes, of course, it's a big jump. So yeah, I already found a study, and it's amazing. It's very personal. You even get therapy as a student, which is great. So you don't project your own things on staff.
How does that work? Because you get therapy yourself. What kind of therapy do you get then?
So the study is split in 3 parts. It's the hours you have to put into practice. You have the courses itself, and you have a part where you have like group sessions or one-on-one sessions where you dive into how do you interact, because in the role of coach is definitely different than a psychologist or a therapist even. A coach really focuses on the future. It's not about like, hey, Marcos, I lost my job. Why did you lose it? No. Okay, Marcos, you lost your job. What now? How do we move forward? And that's something really good for me. Also, I'm a very sometimes overly empathetic. So being in the role of coach, you also get to focus more on the future instead of getting too much in the past.
Emotional and in the past, and
And it's harder than you think to just listen without nudging anyway. We're so used to listening as a friend, and you might have an opinion, and somebody says something you kind of agree with. You're like, oh yeah, body movement, everything. You have to really learn or deprogram yourself to be a coach, to really listen with no judgment whatsoever, but also no inclination. In your head, you're like, someone comes to me and say, oh, I have this issue. In my mind, naturally we think, oh, I have the solution. But that's not it. That's not the job. The job is to listen and to ask the right questions so that the person themselves can
find the solution
that
for
answer.
themselves.
Yeah.
Can you give us an example of a question that you will ask somebody then? Like you have an intake, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. I'm a good model we would use is to use the stepping model. So you would ask someone, maybe someone has the problem like, hey, I always get nervous. I cannot make friends, I cannot make friends easily. I feel lonely. Okay, so you ask them from a scale from 1 to 10. How lonely do you feel? 1 being the lowest and 10 being like you don't feel lonely, you feel like you have enough friends. And then you work from there. Like somebody said, oh, I feel like I'm at a 4. Okay, where do you want to be? Okay, I want to be at an 8. Okay, from 4 to 5, what would you have to do? How do we get there from 4 to 5? Okay, I would like to meet up with one friend once a week. And then you start working through that. And as a coach, you guide them. You don't tell them, you have to go to meet a friend. Okay, for next sessions, should we agree that that you come back and you tell me about one activity you did last week with a friend? And it's the little steps, it's the small steps that make the biggest change.
Yeah, you're gonna go from a 4 to an 8 overnight.
No, because you didn't go from an 8 to a 4 either.
No,
and
true.
a lot of times we are so distracted by life and going through things and work and distractions and a good Netflix series and that we sometimes don't notice that we're going from 8 to 7 to 6 to 5 4. And then you're at 4 and you're like, hey, what's up? So it's also going to take a minute to go back to 8.
And people sometimes also like they want to go from a 4 to an 8, right?
Yeah.
They want change immediately.
Yeah.
Do they understand that when you talk to them that it just takes time, that it takes like these little steps?
Yeah. I think nowadays we don't even have to wait for a commercial. So people are so used to like, we even skip the intro at Netflix. Don't tell me that people don't skip the 3-second intro on Netflix.
It's true.
So we are so used to like that fast. But again, do you want a house built fast or you want a house built properly? And it's, the time you take, it's going to be more stable. Because if you do it fast, that means it's going to fall fast also.
Yeah,
that's true.
In Papiamento, they have a saying that says, Sopi pura or sopi lihe? Sopi lihe. What's it? The salisalo. It means if you make soup fast, it's gonna be salty.
Ah.
So
Take your time.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Say, we don't want salty soup.
No.
We don't want salty soup.
Okay, I love this quote. We don't want salty soup, people.
We got a horse shirt line. We got to take your shirt off. We got those salty soup.
We have a few every episode.
Yeah.
Hey, but you told us that you also did like you also already did some courses and you also had to like look for clients already, like who did you approach and did people react to it in a good way?
Yeah, that's obviously you have to practice. You can sit in the class, but at the end of the day, it's how you interact, how you put those models, how you put those skills to use. And so for the course, we already had to do a few clients. And that was, when I just put it online, it was in a way positive that I got so much reaction. But at the same time, it's shocking that even I think weeks after, I would still get messages from people who are just in need. It shows how much of our community are living on adrenaline. They're living on adrenaline and barely surviving. And they're not at the point where the healthcare will say like, oh, you need help. So because they can still manage, but it's also almost at the breaking point. Mm-hmm. So that it gave me a little push, even more motivation to be like, hey, okay, now you're on the right track. And it was a bit like bittersweet, because you're like, oh yeah, I have a lot of options, I can move around, but at the same time, you would love for the people around you to not have to need you.
And is that also the clients that you want to do in the future, like more the queer people of color?
I think because also when I had the burnout, it was difficult to find someone. We all have so many layers, as a person of color, a Caribbean background, which in our cultures, being emotional or talking about it, being emotionally verbal is not something that is characteristic of the Aruban culture. So you already have to learn how to communicate your emotions. So I had so many layers, and trying to find someone to match with that, I would have to wait. I think it was around beginning of the year, and then I had a wait list to have the first intake in December. And I need it now, and so I couldn't find it, so I was like, let me become it. And I think that's also what I'm going to focus on is people who are people of color, queer.
And that's also like you told us in our pre-talk that you also like when you were looking for it, and when you would started talking to people, they also didn't understand your situation, right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't know anything about queer life.
Yeah, and you had to explain things like even your upbringing, where even when you're doing that, you kind of don't want to talk shit about your parents. But you have so much to unpack. And so you're kind of telling, but you still don't want to put your people in a bad light. You have to explain things like sauna or a fun house. You know, for someone who has no affiliation, of course, they'll listen to it. But the fact already you have to explain it, that kind of already feels like, if I have to get so much in it before we even get there, it felt like the appointments that I went into, I started at -10, and I would love for someone to start with me on 0. You know, I already get it. I know, I know what the sauna, I know I can relate. And then we can start from 0 and build up from there and not start from minus something.
Yeah.
Hey, you said explain Funhouse. How would you
Yeah.
explain Funhouse?
It's a house that's fun.
Is it fun though? Is it fun?
It's a lot of fun.
Hey, people have fun. So yeah, let's talk about a different topic, like mental health issues. If you have them, if you're looking for somebody who could coach you, maybe they can contact you once you got your business running, right?
Yeah, true. I do feel like I'm someone, if I do something, I really want to do it very well. And I want to be, to have also the assurance that I'm fully there. So I don't feel like I'm there yet, but I know for sure that very soon I'm going to be there, that I can be
That
ready
person,
to,
Yeah,
do my thing.
Nice.
good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for them.
Yeah.
Something else. You also are a member of the House of Vineyard.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
So I'm up and coming grape. I'm an up and coming grape. I have been a fan of the vineyards for so long. Amber is an amazing, she's like icon. She puts icon in all letters. Like, she's the definition of it. Again, creating space, thinking about not just even in a space where you are queer or a person of color, you can still have privileges that other people don't have, and not only that, being a pioneer and creating all these amazing events and spaces is just amazing. Something I look up to, and we reached out, and so yeah, I'm in training. So I'm not a vineyard yet. Of course, just like any art form, ballroom is something that you have to train. You have to better your skill. You have to put in the work, and I'm putting in my hours.
Hey,
Putting in my hours.
but
Just-
she approached you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just for our listeners or viewers, the House of Vineyards is a ballroom house,
It's
Dutch.
the first Dutch ballroom house,
Yeah.
and actually the pioneer who started all that. Even I think in 2025 we have like 16 houses, and they all stem from spaces and opportunities created by Amber and Ellie. Shout out to the fam, created by them, and consistently to this day, breaking barriers and making sure that everybody gets paid
Very important.
accordingly.
Yeah.
And so the first Dutch ballroom house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
I interviewed her once. She called herself a momager.
Yeah,
Because she was a manager and a mom.
definitely is.
Yeah.
She definitely is, and then also a Virgo.
Yeah.
Shout out to the V. No, she's everything. She's everything.
Yeah, and that's clear because she also made a move last week. When you see this is a little bit later, but she pulled out of Milkshake, the big festival in Amsterdam. What do you think about that?
I think, like the mother is a pioneer, and she has the balls to say what a lot of people are kind of like tiptoeing
around, yeah.
And it's one of the things that I love about her. And you see that, like I said, the spaces created by us, for us, are slowly being taken over. Because it starts with the straight girls, the straight guys, the big companies buying those spaces, and it is being taken over, and the whole essence is gone. Meanwhile, the fight still continues. People are still discriminated, attacked on so many levels, but so it's like they're sucking the soul out of something that has been jump-started or even have brought to life by the people that they're discriminating against. Yeah. So there's no other way to get their attention than hitting where it hurts, and it's in the pocket. And I don't think it's even like an attack. I think Amber or any artist is not doing it to attack Milkshake whatsoever.
Or standing for what you believe in.
It's again, if you know who you are and what you stand for, these decisions are not light, but it makes it easier because you know what you stand for, and that's something that we should definitely applaud, and we should definitely see as consumers, where does my money go? And support your queer artists, book your queer artists, don't be asking for a guest list when it's, be there, be present, show up. So many artists starting up, all they need is an audience. And I think we struggle that also a lot in the reguliers. And I have a lot with people. People would come in and be like, oh, so many straight, so many this. And it's like, where are you? Where are you to show up to applaud a drag queen? And we're not asking much. Come say hi. Come have one drink.
Yeah,
because sooner or later, these spaces are going to not only be taken over by straight guest, but they're gonna be bought by a straight company. Why? Which
has happened also.
Because we cannot select. We cannot be like, oh no, this is exclusively a spaces for queer people. If people don't show up, because those places are gonna go out of business, and then they're not gonna exist at all.
Yeah, that's true.
So shout out to mom, and no, I stand behind her 100%. Yeah.
Fully agree with you. I think we're almost done. But
again, another one.
Another one. Yeah, I like this attitude. We like this attitude.
Is there anything that we forgot to ask, or something that you want to let us know, or the audience know?
Something you want to plug?
I want to plug.
You want to plug?
I want to give a shout out. I think I'm gonna do it already next week. But I want to give a shout out to the kind, beautiful, amazing, talented, amazing future husband. Thank you for thank you for always going with my shenanigans, and thank you for the love, and also shout out to Eva and everybody who, like, I feel that it's my honor to a lot of people have invested in me, showed me love, showed me appreciation. When I moved here, I had elders who guided me and held me, and the best way to honor them and honor the people who love me and give me that support, my parents, everybody, shout out to everyone, is by continuing it. That's my thank you to them. When I don't get to say it enough, I get to show it so other people feel it too.
Yeah. Hey,
I love that.
That's beautiful, but I still like, you said so many kind, loving words.
Yeah.
I still want to hear something controversial. Can you leave us with something controversial? I guess that love is a yes, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Why don't you start, Marco?
Yeah. Point me in a direction. Show me a picture.
I find this so unfair. I asked the questions. If you want to know something controversial about me, I would say read my articles in Wings magazine. I think it's quite controversial.
Wink,
I mean, you can show it off.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's in it.
Because I'm in it, so you can show it off.
Yeah, true. Thank you. So, this is you.
This is me. And yeah.
Hot.
And,
Yeah, that's the first time we worked together. Was the Pride campaign for Mr. B.
And I think even a lot of things, I'm a big firm believer in serendipity, and the universe sometimes guides you. Of course, you gotta grab on and ride it, but the universe gives you the car. What you do with it is up to you. But I think that even the whole idea started, I think Guno was approached, and then he couldn't. And then we want to do a couple. They want to do a couple shoot, and then he couldn't do it, and then I got to do it, and it so many people from Aruba reached out.
Really?
And that was the main thing. Also, that's why I said my tagline was say abomes, team abomes, which means love yourself and be yourself. Yeah. And it was again, it's the gag to be sometimes the first doing things, the first, and to live my life unapologetically me, and I get to do it, but I think part of that responsibility is also asking myself, okay, I get to do it. How can I make sure that the world is softer for the people, so everybody gets to do it, because I'm in the privilege of having things that makes it easier for me. Yeah. And that's a short story. behind it. Yeah.
It was a fun day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still have a question for your future husband or for your friends?
Oh wow.
Well, the thing, I think that you can like we're good at match energy because I'm starting the coaching, which is like on the inner work, and Guno just ventured into his new his beautifying. He works as an esthetician, and I think his spaces. It's great to have. I think part of feeling safe is seeing yourself somewhere. So if y'all need a little touch up, hit up my man. I'll work on the inside. He'll work on the outside. We'll do a complete job, a complete remote.
Okay.
No, but it's it's a Glow Essence, and you can look it up on Instagram. Yeah.
We'll put it underneath the video.
Yes, please.
So, on that note, I think we're done, right?
Yes.
What was controversial?
I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
He's gay for it.
I'm politician by way.
Well, if you still come up with something, you can send us an email.
I want to really have a tea.
I'm sure there's something. And we've both worked in the reguliers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
There
you
are
need to
some
name.
characters.
But you need to name names then, and it's
No,
like a little bit tricky, or not?
Well, there was this one customer.
I remember that. This was my second week ever. Remember, I've been in 10 years, so this is engraved in my left brain. I remember it's my first week, and back in the day, I was a bit more chubbier, and I would wear glasses. I was a bit like not as in my vibe, in my final form. I'll never be in my final form, but I wasn't as confident as I am now. And I remember I was just as a runner, and I was walking around, and then all of a sudden I see like this Dutch man just sitting on the. I think everybody knows who goes to the toilet upstairs on the soul. You have this like sofa, and he's sitting there, and this little Asian guy is blowing him. And and this is my second week. It's a gag. I wasn't, it was very new to me. I think I came here it was just the summer when Exit was closing. Yeah. It was the Pride, and it was the first time I ever like saw anything, and it was the gag. And you'll never imagine.
You were both gagging, actually. Sorry,
everyone was gagging. It was Gagarella, and you can never imagine who this guy is. A Dutch celebrity. He was getting a blowjob.
Some names come to mind.
And it's not, but it's
yeah.
And then to this day, that just every time I see him on a show or anything, I think of that spot. I was like, oh, I think when your life ends and everything flashes. I think that's one of the
moments.
Thank you for this scoop.
Thank you. A scoop and a swallow.
Okay, on that note,
I think that's it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for creating the space for icons. Thank you.
And I think we both agree. If you want to come back one more time, you're more than
Always welcome.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And so much fun at your wedding. I hope you have the most beautiful day.
Yeah. Yes, we definitely will. We definitely will.
We're back.
We're back.
I have to say, that was a fun conversation.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such an icon.
Yeah, not just that, but the outfits were on point.
I mean.
Oh my God. I want to borrow that once. Can I borrow that once? No.
Get your own, Marco.
Annoying. Let's talk about Queer Joy.
Let's do it.
Queer Joy is a segment where we talk about things that bring us joy because we're queer people.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
I can start, yeah. I have 3 things that gave me queer joy the last month, and it's all TV related. I'm just watching TV every night with my husband. The first thing is the show Adults. It's on, I think, Hulu, Disney, and it's hilarious. It's about 5 queer people basically after college living in a house together because they cannot afford to live on their own. And one guy, his parents are like away, so they all stay in that house together, and hilariousness ensues. They're not all queer. They're queer, but not they're all gay, lesbian, they're everything. But it's just written so fucking funny, and it's just very Gen Z of it all, and they don't take themselves seriously at all. It's like a
who's your favorite character?
I don't know the names, but the lesbian, of course.
The lesbian.
No, she's not lesbian. What am I saying? She's bisexual,
Yes.
anyway. But she's very unhinged. Yeah.
And
yeah.
and
No, she has a
what way?
boyfriend who also lives in the house. Paul Baker is his name, and they just keep referring to him as Paul Baker.
Yeah.
He's very hot, but she is just unhinged. She tries to help everybody with everything, but like too much, which I can relate to. So I think I relate most to her, so that's why I like her. Yeah. So you should watch it.
I will.
Yeah.
What's the next
The
TV
next,
series?
I mean, it's very similar. But it's another show called Overcompensating, written by Benny Drama, and he's also stars in it. And it's about basically his life being gay and in the closet during college. And again, it's super unserious. It's very funny, and it's a little bit relatable, but also not. So yeah, it's funny.
And being gay in college, that's like not a good choice in life.
Well, he's like he was the star of the football team, and he's very muscled and da. He's like a big fat mo, you know, and he has like his fag hag, and it's very hilarious. Yeah.
And I mean, if you're like a muscle dude who plays sports, I mean that is your prime to score in sports
Which
terms, right?
he tries to do.
Yeah.
So it's very funny. Yeah. And the last one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
this
yes.
one you also know. We often do not talk about Drag Race because every podcast talks about Drag Race, but we love it. And the new All-Star season with the whole bracket system I live for it.
I'm here for it.
It's so iconic.
It's like season 7 when they did the all winner season.
Yeah.
That was like a love letter to Drag Race.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like that.
Yeah,
It's like a
but then
next
on
step,
steroids.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and you got all these queens from different seasons, like some are like really old, some are really completely fresh.
I mean, Nicole Page Brooks.
yeah,
Standout star.
icon.
But also the drag is good, but also the drama is good. I mean, Mistress Isabel Brooks is just
Yeah, okay.
Nasty, but I
what do
live.
we think about Mistress Isabel Brooks? Are we digging her or not?
I love pink.
You know what it is? I'm not a big fan of her drag per se. I mean, it's good, but it's not for me. But I think what she does well is make television. True. Do I always agree with everything she does? No. But do I like watching it? Yes.
I have to say one thing though, the thing with there was this thing where we had to give out points to each other, and then they wanted to swap the points, you know, and then she fucked them over.
I thought it was iconic because they let it happen. They were in the room.
I agree.
And they let it happen.
Yeah, and that's the point I want to make, because if you have a verbal agreement, I'm going to give you my point, you're going to give me your point, and there's a whole TV studio who sees it, then it shouldn't matter if you give them like the physical thing in their hand. You know, a deal is a deal.
Yeah, but I don't think saying it like previously in the episodes, making a deal is not like binding. It's just playing the game, I think.
You think so? No, I think
Yeah,
it
if you
should
give
be
it-
legally binding.
She should have just given it to Carrie, but
I
she
would have
didn't.
smacked her.
I mean, I wouldn't have let it happen either, but they did. So the only thing I didn't like is at the end, the last episode, that Mistress said like that Carrie fucked her over, so that's why she's not giving her a
No.
point. I thought that was really uncalled for.
You're like screwing people over the whole time, and you're going to
Just
say
own
that.
it then, you know?
No.
But yeah, and now we have the new brackets,
Yeah.
which, you know, it's not my favorite.
Yeah,
but
we need to get through this.
yes,
2 movies.
yeah.
So yeah, Queer Joy
Yes.
is not just TV. It can also be things like getting free shots, as we talked about, but also free tickets.
Just free things in general. We
Yeah.
love free things, so please send them to us.
So we have some free tickets for you, the watcher or the listener.
Yeah.
So the first tickets that we have available are made available to us by Strike Me Pink Productions.
Yeah.
And that's a theater company from Amsterdam. And they mostly make productions that have like a queer or a pink edge or perspective.
Yeah.
And in July, they're going to have three dates, the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th of July, where they will perform in the, I need to check what the location is, at the Amsterdamse Theaterhuis. And they're going to give us tickets for My Nights with Noah. And this is a play about a English teacher who is about to retire. His wife left him. And now he's kind of like trying to figure out who he is as a gay man, because secretly he's a gay man. And then he starts a little thing with a sex worker named Noah. So that's why it's called My Nights with Noah. And it's a story about like discovery about your sexual identity.
I like that.
And the best thing is, it is played by Barry Stevens. Yes, who's an icon. Yeah, Vooral doorgaan. Iconic performer. If you want to get the tickets, you can send the people from Strike Me Pink Productions a DM on their Instagram.
Yeah.
If you want to win them, and if you just want to buy them and support your local queer organizations, then you can go to strikemepinkproductions.com and buy your tickets.
And tell them we send you.
Yes. And we have more tickets.
More tickets.
Yes.
As some of you may know, I organize a fetish party called Damage. And this year with Pride, we're doing a collab with Headrush, a queer techno party. Headrush invites Damage. And we're doing a big party on the Saturday of Pride at 10 at the other side. It's a great location. It's the first time we're doing it there. We'll have 2 dark rooms. We'll have an outdoor area for the whole shebang. And I could give away 2 tickets twice.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So send us a message on our Insta, and maybe the tickets are yours.
Exactly.
Cute.
And see you then.
Yeah. I think that we're almost there, right? Yeah. We will be back in a few weeks with a new episode that features...
Just us.
Just us. We're going to talk about our heroes, people who have inspired us.
Or influenced our lives, or changed the way we see the world.
Yes. And we're going to do something else. On the 31st of July, we're going to have a live podcast.
Yeah, also at Amsterdam Pride, so it's going to be a busy week.
I want to ask.
Yes.
Are for the party Damage, are there going to be facilities for the gay people to cleanse yourself, to make sure that you're having a good time?
I will look into that, because I don't know this club yet, but I will let you know.
Maybe enemas who you can dispose of.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, we can arrange that.
That's something.
That's a good one.
Yeah, hey, good.
Enemas for everyone. Anna, you get an enema, and you get an enema.
And then coffee enema?
Yes,
The matcha. But yes, we'll make that happen.
Nice. We have a live podcast on the 31st of July at the Social Hub City. That's on the Wieboudstraat. You are invited, so please come over and be in our audience.
Yeah, we're gonna have multiple guests and just a fun time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can RSVP. You'll read about that in our notes. And we have another event. We're also going to be at the Super Flirt Festival on the 24th of August.
Yes, and Super Flirt is a queer festival by the queer community, for the queer community, with the queer community. It's a long sentence. It's a fairly new festival. It's the 24th of August, and we're going to have a live taping of our podcast at the festival. So get your tickets and find us at the festival so you can be part of the podcast.
And it's, I think, queer owned and queer operated.
Yes.
Yes. Unlike...
Which is important.
And that was it.
Yeah, I think we want to have a big thank you for our guests.
Yes.
Round of applause.
Yes. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Guno. Thank you, Ivar. And thank you, Sebastian, for coming over.
Yeah, and of course, we couldn't do it without our gorgeous
lovely
backstage
team.
Bojan.
Yes. Bojan and Pablo.
So if you have any questions or you have any things you want to let us know, just slide into the DMs and maybe we can use it in our next podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Like, follow, and subscribe, and we'll see you the next time.
See you next time. Bye. Da, 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 da.